darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand. Creatures crawl in search of blood to terrorize y'all's neighborhood. And whoever shall be found without the soul for getting down must stand and face the hounds of hell and rot inside the corpse's shell. The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years, and grisly ghouls from every tomb are closing in to seal your doom. And through your fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver. No mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
Now let the strings hit. Now let the strings hit. Now let the strings hit.
All these freaks around make a play, never wanna leave. All this weed around, I'm only smoking on the vine street, so break yourself. Better break yourself. All these freaks around make a play, never wanna leave. All this weed around, I'm only smoking on the vine street, so break yourself. Better break yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today with Comrade Rice. Comrade?
It's Halloween, bitches! Woo! Welcome to Halloween. And we're here to discuss Halloween. Surprise!
Okay.
I'm
And that's
so
it.
surprised.
And that's as long as I can do the mask. I'll keep the hat on.
Surprised. Can you see the look on my face?
You know.
Surprise.
Halloween,
Unbelievable.
motherfuckers!
Halloween.
Excuse me while I peel my dead skin off.
Nice. Nice.
I'm going to last longer, I promise.
You know, that's what they all say.
Ba-dum-boom.
You will get an eyeball.
Oh, gee, I'm so happy.
Ooh, what happened here? Ooh,
That is not...
I don't know. It all started going crazy.
I
So-
feel like the minions should be here when you
Thanks
do that.
for the
voice.
editing.
So we're going to talk about Halloween, the origins, where it comes from, where it's going, where it's been, and everything in between.
Where it's going?
It's apparently going
Well, it's
somewhere.
been evolving for thousands of years. It's one of the oldest holidays. Well,
Is it really
Period.
even Halloween anymore? I mean, it's Halloween.
Well,
it's not Samhain
It's
anymore.
not Samhain anymore, but
it's what we know since like the 1920s. There's a Minnesota town that claims to have the first Halloween parade, and that was about 1920-ish. Going back, the Halloween we kind of know now, 1910s, somewhere in Canada, is when they kind of brought the traditions we know today. But before that, it's been kind of celebrated, well, All Hallows Eve for thousands of years.
it's a Celtic holiday.
Yeah.
Actually, that's its origin.
Thank you, Irish. Thank you, Irish. It's much different from what it was, but here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. Starting with those jack-o'-lanterns. Did
Yes.
you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Used to be a turnip.
Well, do you remember the last Halloween show we did?
Yes,
did
I
the,
do.
the Jack. What was he called? Skimpy, Sketchy Jack, or
Stingy
Stingy.
Jack. That's
Stingy.
it.
Stingy Jack.
Stingy Jack.
I mean, in Joe's mind, it really is like Skimpy Jack. You know, Skimpy runs around,
Yeah.
prancing around in, short shorts and likes to rub up against
Well, he
Joe.
prance upon the roofs, jumping from one roof to another. Stuff
That's
like
what
that.
you call it.
And his deals with the devil.
No, it was
and all
one
that.
cold one the other day.
But I have no idea what you're saying with the mask on, by the way, just to let you know. It's kind of
Wait,
like me without
that's
a
a
mask.
mask?
I am now this character from now on.
Oh,
Yeah, he's Nosferatu.
Nose for a fool.
So basically, yes, it comes out of the origins come out of Ireland, the Celts, right? And much different from what we know today. There's no trick or treating, and that all came about with the.
well, they dressed up to keep the evil spirits away.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was called something. Yeah,
The Scottish used to call it ghouling.
it's close. It's close. It's close.
It's close to the ghouling.
Yeah,
Guys,
guys, thank
that
you.
was it.
See,
As
That
in
is it.
disguising.
yes,
Disguising.
exactly.
Disguising.
And they used to leave candy out to ward off the evil spirits.
Yeah, well, they used to have the soul cookies with the crosses baked into them. And
Well,
that's-
You know,
Now,
that was
now
that
you're
was-
getting more.
that's
when
when
the Christians try to take it
Christians
over
try to take it
and then
over.
take
the
over
cookies.
November 1st.
Well,
is
that's what
all,
the Christians did. That
all
was everything.
Souls Day.
Well, that's exactly what Christians do. They try to
They
take over
take over
everything.
everything.
Yeah.
The cookies have a cross in them. Should we look?
now.
When it really was like
Cookies.
moon cookies, yes.
It was moon cookies.
So yeah, this comes out of Ireland, at least what 3,000, 4,000 years now, right? Something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one of the oldest holidays there is, and a lot has changed. You guys know anything about the origins and how they celebrated? Yeah.
Well,
No?
they
Anybody?
celebrated around a bonfire, and it was the new year. It was the end of the
Yeah.
year, so they
November
celebrated.
1st was the new year.
Right,
Well,
they
they did it from-
celebrated the
right.
harvest.
They celebrated the end of summer, the beginning of the harvest. And most people in Ireland are Celts, so Ireland, Scotland, Germany,
Yeah.
they would put out their home fires and then take fire from the bonfire and relight their fires as a sign of a lucky harvest. And-
Yeah. So it comes, from pagan stuff as usual.
yeah.
Yeah,
And,
but it's all about gratitude for what you've received for the year, because that's when you're going to pull in your harvest before the cold comes.
Yeah.
And it was a celebration. People
Yeah.
shared food and celebrated, and
Invited in their ancestors.
yeah.
Danced around fires.
Yeah. They left their windows open, left plates out for their ancestors, invited them in to. You're freaking me out, dude.
Nosferatu, foo.
He's
so
really getting into it.
Creepy!
He's so getting into it.
You ever see the SpongeBob episode where he goes, Nosferatu? And you see him in the corner? Looking at him just like that.
So creepy, man. Okay, anyway.
How do you breathe in that thing? My God.
Wait a minute. We should have brought candy. We could have kept the evil spirits away.
Well,
Yeah.
Got a soul cookie? Soul cookie.
Throw a cookie at him.
And donuts.
And donuts.
Donuts.
We
But-
need what to come flying in.
Funny though, if you really look into the origins, we know a lot comes from the Celts. But it may even be older. It may have come from traditions even thousands of years older than that. If you watch the video, I said it was boring, but
Oh my God.
But
I
it was-
couldn't.
it was very
Couldn't.
informative.
All he did. No. All he did was read out of a book.
so
That made. He jumped from. It was. I couldn't. I literally fell asleep. I mean,
you know,
I was not even
you know
lying.
he's one of the smartest people in the world,
That
right?
doesn't make him entertaining.
No, well, it's not always entertaining. I get it.
So,
Although I will tell you, sorry, yeah,
go
Chris,
ahead.
there is something in France
Yeah.
referencing before the Celts, around the same time the Celts started, referencing Samhain.
well, I mean, it goes way back.
Yeah.
And you look at all the different cultures and belief systems, religions, whatever you want to call it, and all of them have something around the exact same time of the year, and it all comes from the exact same spot.
well, it makes sense if it has something to do with. Think about it. This time of the year, you're gonna pull your harvest,
Yeah.
and you're gonna show your gratitude,
Yeah.
whatever deities or powers that be.
Even going further than that, the celebration happening at the exact same time at the point when What are you doing?
We're just,
There are no words. None.
It's like at the point of a meteor shower that everyone can see.
Yeah,
But
I
this
was
is a
just going to
meteor
say,
now?
like, a lot of reference also with ancient cultures is astronomical. So they look at the sky and it makes sense because there's an eyeball in his mouth. And it makes sense because all over the world, I mean, think about it. There were certain holidays that coincided, but also they looked at the way stars were formed in the sky. It's just like, Christmas, you talk about the northern star.
Yeah.
But that's really like the star of Aries, right? But people saw that all over the world. So definitely there was an astronomical connection with that. And if you look at astronomical connections and the way that, say, it affects the energies on Earth, things that are happening in the sky and the stars will affect the energies on Earth. And that's a belief that is when the veil is at its thinnest. So if the belief is that the veil is at its thinnest, that has something to do with the energy and the frequency on the Earth.
I saw a post today that says around August, what month are we in? October. October 15th, it starts to thin out.
Oh, thins out September.
Yeah.
It's been thinning, right? It's been thinning.
And it goes to like
sooner and
November
sooner.
4th.
Yeah,
Something
it's
like
been
Slowly getting.
I have been thinning.
it is mucho obvious.
It is time for my harvest. I'm hungry.
Again, throw him a cookie,
Those
please.
Rafu.
She's
But-
going to be out the frame soon.
God, why do I sit next to the creepy one?
He decided this.
People. Okay, you know what? I have arrows. Come at me, bro. I'm protected.
So Jack, what do you got to say?
That's not Jack. That's Ichabod.
That's Ichabod now?
That's Ichabod.
Icky, what's up?
Remember, Jack lives with Alice Cooper now.
Does he?
Yes.
Nice.
He keeps training hands.
I saw something today which I thought was, I don't agree with it. I don't know. I know there's multi-dimensions, and we've spoken about this before. There are people out there that do not believe that there is a veil. There is no veil. This is what I read today. I was a little perplexed. There is no veil. There is no veil to thin. It's just that it's multi-dimensions running into each other.
I've heard that before.
Well,
I
if
mean,
you think
I-
about the original teachings of Strega, and before...
What's Sturga?
Don't start that again. I will throw my bottle of
Let
water at you.
let me try to interpret Mr. Rice over here. I think he's saying what's Strega again, so that we could let the audience know in case they didn't know.
Okay.
Academia, please.
Italian witch. So, a lot of the beliefs with astronomical or even that there was no veil. And it also coincides with the belief of ancient cultures living among, side by side, with the gods, right? Or like they
Right.
said.
It's true.
So, and they didn't believe that there was a veil. Or prior to, so I'm going to go back, ancient, or not even ancient,
Rewind the tape.
prehistoric days when
He's going back.
He's going.
going back.
Yeah.
Going back. Back. Prehistoric
It
days
didn't go over everybody's head.
before Homo sapiens sapiens,
Yeah.
right? Before we were tinkered with our DNA, right? Prior to that, we were a more spiritual, highly evolved
Right.
being, race of people. And we were able to, we had more abilities, and there was no veil.
So was the
Right?
veil created, or the concept of the veil created for humans to understand that once we were tinkered with?
Or was the veil created to put us in the matrix?
Well, it's possible. Either way. I mean, we walk multi-dimensional lines, but that's like a whole nother topic.
It
The
is.
origins of
Yes,
Halloween.
it is.
And we segued.
Yeah.
Well, you
It's
know
okay.
what
We
happens.
segue a lot, but it
We
all
do.
comes back into
It
the
all
same
comes
spot.
back into
Joe Rice.
I'm with the idea, I don't know if I fully believe it, that, another race had something to do with our stepping out of caveman times, I guess you would say.
Yeah, that would be the Anunnaki.
Well,
There's that word again. Start the counter.
We need to do, like, stay tuned, a whole other, just on the Emerald Tablets and the Anunnaki. Or the King's List of the Anunnaki. It tells you right there.
well,
Or the works of Zechariah Sitchin.
Yeah.
It's a lot more after
You
him,
could
but
you could read on the books of Enki. That's part of the Anunnaki.
yep. Yep. Anunnaki. Anunnaki. So anyway, moving on.
Synchronized counting.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you follow along that thought line, that's great. You know, I'm not so sure if I, agree with those beliefs.
it's okay. You don't have to agree
Right.
with that.
Yeah,
Some people, their knuckles still drag on the floor. Some
yeah.
Well, he is Cro-Magnon.
No, that's him. He's got the chest hair to prove it.
So do you.
No, I don't. It's not that bad.
He shaves it.
You know, I can lip sync too.
So anyway, but because if you look back, we were discussing this on another podcast. I don't remember which one. There were up to 8 species of humanoids living together at the same time,
On the God episode.
and if
I was just going to say that was.
they interbreed with each other, which they can because they're the same subspecies, you get different variations coming out of it. So that could have been the select breeding.
Well,
kind
not
of
exactly,
theory,
because
you know?
there's actual scientific proof and evidence that the DNA wasn't just of random interbreeding or what ended up happening to the chromosomes. There's actual proof that the chromosome itself was split and spliced back together. It was tinkered with. So, and that would show, and it happened to, happen around when Homo sapiens sapiens just dropped in. So,
Which is
and
only like 400,000 years ago.
it was about, I think, 200,000 years ago.
Well,
Maybe more.
they finding bones almost
It's
400,000.
around the same time that the Anunnaki came here
Sure,
from Nibiru.
sure. Just show me a science paper in a science journal, and I'll believe it. It's just not something I, follow. Right, Joe?
Yes, he believes only
I think
right
if we
theories.
just have the whole episode on the Emerald Tablets, that will reveal a lot.
Sure, I'm more than willing to.
That's
yeah.
the episode we're going to tie Joe Rice up on.
Sure. Sure.
We'll be there.
Helping tie the knots a little
Yes.
tighter.
Yes.
But either way, we're not doing Samhain justice, right? By the trick-or-treating and the ghoulish stuff. I mean, maybe just to scare away the evil spirits.
Did
but
they do that thousands of years ago? They dressed in a way to
The guising?
repel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Part
I
of
think modern Halloween has taken it beyond what it was supposed
Well, and
to
I'm
be.
guessing that's because everything had to go underground and got
Twisted.
twisted. Exactly. But more and more, I think you see more people celebrating Samhain now than we did, say, 10 years ago.
Definitely. I keep meeting more people, more young adults who are practicing.
Yep.
And
Which
it's
is
actually
awesome.
surprising me how many people I'm coming across.
But can you attribute that to the internet then? More information is available to more people than
You
ever.
could potentially contribute that to the internet, and I think it's also going along the lines of people are opening their eyes to the fallacies of most modernized religions.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
They're waking
looking
up.
more. Exactly.
People are waking up.
They're
starting
listening to
see
their
past,
souls. Exactly. They're listening to their souls. They're trying to
which
see.
is our divine, like right,
So-
what we're supposed to be doing.
So, in the religious aspect, what is the religion then? Like,
It doesn't. Why does that be a religion?
I don't
Religion
know.
is.
That's what I'm just asking a question.
I don't think there is one. A religion is something that's made up by modern man to label everything, to
Modern.
put some.
Religion's not modern. Religion's goes back thousands. To
No, but it wasn't ever called religion. There was no organized religion tens of thousands of years ago.
No, because they worship multiple
No,
gods. and
your
all that
organized
stuff.
religions originated with
Yeah, the Abraham.
Abraham,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
that's where your organized religion came from. And there had to be a certain doctrine that everybody.
And no matter what, that's still technically modern compared to the age of humanity.
Well,
You can consider 5,000 years ago modern with how long humans have been on the earth.
well, 99% of our history is gone.
Right.
We've only been keeping records for 6,000 years.
Right, but it's not even just that. 99% of our history is gone relatively
I don't
because
agree with
people
that.
don't. There were people in history that destroyed
I think mostly,
our history.
I think mostly it's, cataclysm.
Not cataclysm.
Right,
Think
no.
about like the
No.
the
Excuse me.
the Library of Alexandria, right? The fires of Alexandria. Do you really believe that actually happened? You know what actually happened? The Vatican went in, made some smoke and mirrors, and robbed everything.
Wait, didn't that take place BC? The fire in Alexandria?
Yeah.
There was no popes until after Christ.
You had your
Peter was the first pope.
you had your
in 33
crusades that
AD.
went in and stole
But how you blame the Vatican when they didn't exist?
the crusades.
Crusades were in the 1400s.
You had
14,100 years later.
you had all of your Christian soldiers that went in.
You're talking about the fire at the Library of Alexandria.
Yes.
That was BC.
Yeah.
1,500 years before the Crusades.
There were a lot. There was in the name of Christianity.
There was no Christians.
There were.
Christ wasn't even born yet. You can't have Christians with no Christ.
The Pope has spoken.
I think that there. I think it was set up, and I think that there was things stolen from there.
So listen, if it was a power grab, sure. But you can't blame it on Christ. He wasn't even born yet.
I think still there things were stolen from there, and it's in the Vatican now.
Steve, when did the fire in Alexandria take place?
So in the interim of Google taking a few moments, what religion is it?
Is what?
When we were talking about
What-
people nowadays starting to practice more
Of what?
paganism.
Yeah.
So
That's what I was leading to.
No, right. Well, what is your? But what? I want you to elaborate more on that question because you gotta look at it in different ways. There's so many different sects of paganism that you can't just sit there and define it as one or another. You've got Wiccan, you've got straight up paganism, you've got heathenism.
What if it's
So-
just people that are just trying to be more connected with their higher self? What if it's just not? What if that's what the young people are doing today? What if
Right.
it's not? They don't want to. I don't want to subscribe to this. I don't want to subscribe to that.
Yeah, look at my own daughter. Look at Tara now. She was raised in a house where she was raised by witches, after my divorce, that is. But she said to me, I honor your path, but I can't practice your path because I'm going to connect to divine source, which is what I believe in. I believe in divine source. But she's going in a different way, but she still honors, especially Samhain, she'll still find a way to honor it while going a different path. So it's
And I think Samhain is even with the history. I think ultimately it is a time of gratitude, right, for everything you received in the year
and celebration.
Right.
And all coming together. It's we consider it our New Year. So it's everybody coming together to celebrate. Those who are here, those who are not here. Whether the veil is there or not, you're still celebrating multi-dimensional people or people who went through the veil. Whatever your belief system is.
Sure. But I think those are two separate
think?
things, honestly, in my opinion.
What?
The veil, itself, thinning, this time of year and all that. And the multi-dimensional thing is a whole nother.
But what if the veil thinning is actually
I
a
can get into
result
conversations about
of
both, but there's a lot of actual scientific understanding that, well, that's not the right word. There's a lot of people in science actually looking into that multiverse theory. And, and it's come to light to some degree that it may, this is all speculation and there's no scientific fact here, that what we are seeing are not ghosts, it's the other dimensions.
Well, I think there's been studies on that.
Yeah, but it's becoming more accepted as almost something that we think is actual.
It also seems to be happening more and more often.
Yes.
To more and more people.
But exactly. And the only thing I'll say about that is and it could just be the different dimensions of where those who have passed, right? Say they go through the veil. We'll use that word just because that's the word. But I've told you this over the last couple of months. I'm watching people who have to come from other dimensions. It's a different feel for me. I can tell, creepy man, they're flesh and blood or whatever this is. But I can tell
Well, I just
because they don't.
with that.
But yet, when it's spirit or somebody who's passed, it has a different feel. So, is it that the veil or the multi-dimension is just different areas? When you pass, you go through this into that dimension, and either way, I'm going to look at it as like a veil, even though I know there are multi-dimensions.
Yeah, basically, I believe that dimension theory is it's possible that we share the same planes of existence in different dimensions.
Right.
In other words,
That gives a theory of.
In other words,
there is
yeah.
no time. There's no past,
Right.
present, or future. Everything is happening
At the same time.
And also,
well,
like if
that's
you
a
think
whole
about,
other thing. Yeah.
it's multiverse,
Wow.
and it's almost like Einstein talked about that, and even with atoms, how one atom could be doing something.
Oh, you know what that was called?
Split it.
Spooky atoms.
Spooky action at a distance.
Yeah.
So
Spooky Einstein. Well, my thoughts on the whole multiverse thing is that, maybe some of them butt up against each other. They don't exactly take the same space. So, one multiverse is here, another one here, maybe one on top, on the sides, or, that's how I look at it. But that's just me.
I want to go back to a long time ago. I want to go back.
Way back.
Way back.
Rewind.
Rewind the tape.
What happened to the Google?
I'm just waiting on you guys to have your thing here.
I want to rewind the tape because we're talking about multiverse and this, that, and the other thing, and the veil. That's in a similarity to the journey that Joe Fu went on in the second episode that we ever filmed. Joe Fu went on a journey, and in Joe Fu's journey, he saw the different paths that he could have taken during his life.
Yeah.
Okay? Every single branch that he saw is a different part of the multiverse. So
Sure. Yeah.
he chose what he wanted to. He stayed on this straight line that he's on. Mm-hmm. However, if that first choice that he made, he decided he could go to the left, you now have a new branch of a tree.
Well, see, there's different types of multiverses, though. And that's, because you can have multiverses that are based on your decisions and everybody else is around.
Right, every potential outcome.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one where I got sick. Well, I am sick, but I didn't show up tonight.
See, but you saying that is solidifying it.
I've been hoarse for a few days and
Horse.
You are a horse.
No.
Don't upset.
Bro, you offended those
Don't upset the creepy man. Because I'm sitting next to the
I
creepy
would like
man.
to hear the creepy man speak.
Yeah, you've been pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Put the horse head on.
Nobody can hear me with this thing on.
So take it off.
Take it off.
Roll it up.
Hey!
His head's lost 5 pounds from the sweat.
I'm wet.
Jesus, Joe. That's dedication. Woo!
I mean, I
Hi, guys.
You can say whatever you want about Joe Fu. That man is dedicated.
I came out to tell you I'm the horse. And I will prove it before the end of this episode.
So, yeah, it depends on what type of multiverse theory you look into. Some are based on that, okay, so there's our world, and there's a world kind of just like it, where different things are different laws and different, planes of existence sort of thing.
See, I think I look at it like if you think about manifesting, right? And you hear words of when you want something or something is like all the different choices you could have made in life, or the things that you want. You're manifesting, and that's going out there. It already exists. Like everything you desire, you want, already exists. It's just a matter of it's in that part, a different plane, but you could bring it to this one.
Now, the thing,
Yeah, I don't know.
the thing about
I don't know. I've
that
been
journey
trying.
and that experience, I was only able to look down what seemed like a tunnel. And I didn't know if I was able to make that choice. But had I made that choice, but I didn't know while I was traveling, was I able to make that choice? I don't know. At the time, was I supposed to stay on that straight line? And no matter what I did, I was always going to be on that straight
Well,
line.
to
And
find
were
out these
the
answers,
possibilities.
join us next time when we do the DMT episode. Joe Fu will find his answers, I promise you. Or get an anal probe, one or the other.
Cattle prod.
So what do we got for the...
Yeah, so the Library of Alexandria was burned down 48 BC.
There you go. I throw answers out of my
I
ass, but I'm
still
always very
say all
close
that
to being
stuff
right.
is in the Vatican. I don't think it burned at all. Well, I think that was smoke and mirrors.
Well,
It was bigger.
I'm not
bigger-
opposed to a theory that says that the Vatican was just another society that evolved into it by happenstance. Hey, look, Christ, he died. These people are following him. Well, let's rule those people.
I don't
There's
think
your
the Vatican has
Vatican.
anything to do with Christ, honestly. They're a whole world themselves.
Yeah,
But that's a whole...
I've looked into a lot of stuff about the Vatican. So, the Vatican is actually kind of loosening up a little bit. So, over in Italy, somebody was renovating their garage. Actually, the story is that the property they were on, there was a garage that collapsed, a little sinkhole. And they went in to pull out all the rubble and fix it so they can use that part of the garage again. I believe it was a business. And
I heard this story.
as they pulled up the rubble, they found a series of catacombs, sort of.
I heard this story.
Yeah, and what they do is they found frescoes on the walls.
You are not a fresco.
No, but I am.
You're an
I am
asco.
saintly. I am saintly. Well, it's only.
is the
It's only
holy
Monday.
shit.
Give me a chance. I can ratchet up that asshole to motherfucker real quick by Friday. Don't worry. Anyway,
What's the amount of holy you are? See the hole?
so they found frescoes on the walls, and the Catholic Church actually, had a part in observing and trying to figure out what these were, and they were celebrations of the people that passed on, because the frescoes, first of all, that are from a time when Christianity was way young. So they believe it was too early to be actual Christianity. It may have just been Roman paganism. Not Rogan.
Joe
Not
Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
The Romans! That's who I wanted to say
You know,
stole
I
it.
was
So-
going to say to you before, do you mean the Romans?
I
And
mean
then
the
he went
Romans.
off,
Yes.
and then I
Rob,
just, you know.
Alexandria.
Ah, the Rogans, the Romans.
This is, you know.
Same
God
thing.
damn it,
Rogan, why did you fuck us?
It's Rogan paganism.
We've already
it's
had him on our
Rogan
show.
Joganism. Anyway, so they found frescoes on the walls, and the funny thing about the frescoes is that there's 12 people in the frescoes and a 13th person behind. And they believe that the 13th person that was behind, kind of observing the 12 people at the party, was the dead person they were paying reverence to, that was buried in this place. So, and it's very Last Supper-esque, where the 13th person was Jesus, in the Last Supper picture. Whether it was true or
So-
not. But we're not done.
So
We're
again-
done. Just hang out.
Oh my God, you're not done? Okay.
No, not done. Not done. Not by a long shot.
Are you saying
So basically, the fresco was of 12 people, plus a 13th looking on, which was the person that they were there to visit and communicate with the dead. And they were Romans, pretty much. Their dank was too really cusp of borderline early Christianity. So the church doesn't even think they were Christians. But the symbolism comes, and that's what Catholics do. They take symbolism and rituals and holidays from the pagans and the Romans and stuff like that, and they create their own holidays from it.
Right, so it's another thing they stole.
And then another commercialization of it, thousands of years later. So basically what they would do is they would light fires, because this is a tomb to some extent, and they would get in there and they would celebrate most likely to the god, the deity of Bes, You know who Bes is, right, ladies? Yeah. Which is the
Bast?
god.
Yes.
Bes, B-E-S. It's the god, it's the deity of merriment, music, and childbirth. And it's very famous through history, especially in paganism, stuff like that. And they would make a cocktail. And they would take wine, ergot, which, is spiritual acid, so to speak. They would take wine, ergot. These guys, they're getting drunk.
You sure you're not drunk right now?
So, I'm watching them. So it'd be wine. I'm trying to finish, but I can't.
Sorry.
So they would take the wine, mix it with ergot, blood, and vaginal mucus. And then they would drink it, and thanks to Bes. It's true. It's true. It's right out of historical pages. Not even making it up. Okay, so I'll be honest.
Not the story that I heard.
So I'll be honest though. This is what they actually said, and this is from the story. From the story.
And where did you?
It was
hear
either
this story?
saliva or vaginal mucus. Why they can't tell the difference, I have no idea. But it was one of the two.
And where did you hear this? What is your source?
This is from.
Is it that guy you sent the video on?
Is it Wikipedia?
No.
It's .com. No.
Is it a .com? Joe?
It's from the Vatican.
It's from the Vatican.
And it's from the Vatican put out some of the work on this.
And you believe what comes out of the Vatican's
Yeah, really. I wouldn't
mouth?
believe a damn thing the Vatican says.
Okay, so if you stuck with the story from the beginning, you would have known that I said the Vatican is actually saying that this weren't Christians, although it had a lot of Christianity symbolism. My whole point was this whole story was the fact that the Vatican is pretty much saying that, we stole these traditions, these ways, and they're telling you, which was, I thought,
But
good
now I have
thing.
a question, just because part of me is lost, but not lost. So 12, ancestor standing behind the people, kind of like the Last Supper,
Yeah.
right? They're not claiming that's them, but they're kind of saying that they stole it. But then the day.
Well, it's an admittance. It's an admittance.
Okay,
by-
so if the 13th person is dead, are you telling me then that Jesus Christ was dead and he was just a spirit walking?
I think
No, because Jesus Christ was actually at the table.
Right, that's
This
true.
spirit in the fresco was
is in the
behind.
background. He was saying.
So
Behind.
what?
So they're saying that they took that and ran with it.
The artistry part of that. You're saying.
They're saying that during the time, it's very closely related to what early Christians or the Romans at the time did, pagan Romans did. And it's kind of, they didn't say, oh, we're admitting we took this, but if you read between the lines, the entire story I just told was a read between the lines story. So some of the group got it, some of them didn't.
No,
some
I
of them,
got it.
no. Let me finish. Let me rant.
Okay.
The whole mucus and vaginal thing was all window dressing. It had nothing to do but shock value. Anybody here that doesn't know me by now, after all these years, doesn't realize I take a very subtle story and I put all this dressing on it.
Right.
Read between the lines.
So hold on. So who window dressed it? You or the Vatican?
That's where we're confused.
I used parts of this story to make it more salacious. That's all I did.
So you're
I didn't have to
parts-
tell you about the vaginal
So
mucus,
you're taking
but I chose
parts
to.
out of context.
No, nothing out of context.
Wait, I have a question. That everything you said, the Vatican
Was from
said.
the story.
The Vatican said.
Yes.
So then
Everything you said.
Wait. From the story I read.
From
So
the
then
story,
it's-
right? From the
Yes.
story you read.
Yes.
Everything you just relayed to us is from the story you read,
Every single word.
including
single
the saliva / the vaginal.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would have to look up the podcast, and they have the article that,
So
that they read.
So
then
we're-
it's not really dressing it.
Right, that's
You're just
what we're
giving us
confused.
the details.
No, I didn't have to even add that part to it, but I felt that I wanted to.
Okay, but that's not dressing it. You're still just adding details to it.
Right,
You're not
you
dressing
had
it.
us, and
Dressing
then-
it would have been if you literally
Okay,
added stuff that
okay.
wasn't part of it.
So that's where you lost us because we all were with you, and then you said that, and then we were like, "What part was not accurate?"
Correct.
No, every part was accurate.
Okay,
I
so
did
you
not.
didn't-
The whole story was that the Roman Church was actually almost saying
That was a bunch of pagans.
we don't know if it was Christians. We don't think it was. Most likely Roman pagans.
But
was
Jesus
was a
was at the
subtle
table?
way
No,
of
it
the
was
church
an ancestor, it
saying
wasn't Jesus.
we hijacked these things.
in
Even
other
though
words-
Right.
those words are in the article, we know that's what the church does.
Okay, so
Okay.
And we admit that every time we talk.
okay, so all right.
Everything else after that was a non sequitur for what the story actually was. Was me adding my Joe Rice touch to it. It was all in the story I read, but none of it actually had to do, the best part, none of it had to do with anything of the actual facts of the story, which was the Catholic Church and the Roman pagans of that time period and how Christianity was hijacking other people's beliefs and this stuff. That's all.
Well, I mean, if we just wanted to find out how Christians
But I like the
hijack
word-
beliefs, just talk about Christmas.
But I just happened to like the words vaginal mucus, so I threw it in. It was actually part of the story. I just didn't need to put it. But I like the look on the faces.
I don't know,
Because
but-
nobody here actually gets me yet. After
No, no.
3
We
years
got
of
you.
3
We
years.
all
No,
get
no, no,
you,
no, no,
but
no.
when you
No,
use
no, no,
improper
no.
words,
3 years plus of podcasting with these guys, they still don't understand what I do for this.
No. No. I see what's the problem here. No. You're not listening to us, is what's happening. It wasn't the fact that you said vaginal mucus. It was the fact that then you said all the rest of that was dressing.
Yes.
And you confused us because up until that point, even with the vaginal mucus,
I can't help if you don't understand what I'm saying.
But that's just it. No one understands what you're saying.
No!
No one understands what you're saying because you don't speak English.
Oh, you don't listen
You only
either.
spoke English.
my idiot.
I think we all understand that he always speaks rice. And
Exhausting.
that's it.
All I was saying is
We
that
all know what you were
we know what you're
saying.
saying.
There's
Now
a
we
story.
understand.
There's a
now that
story.
we know the actual
Yes, we do.
definitions to the words
You know what I feel like right now?
that you were trying to
need to be
use
like
in
in-
the abstract version. Am I turning red and going to explode?
It looked like you were praying. That's a very Christian thing
Where's
to
the
do.
nun outfit?
I'm sorry I left you at home.
I don't think Scotty would
Kelsey,
be happy
bring
with
it to
that.
me now.
Who's Scotty?
The one you prayed to. One of your
Oh,
guys.
Scotty.
beat me up, Scotty! Beat me
Oh,
up!
we are on Star Trek.
No, you were praying. Nords don't pray like that.
Thus, you take a story and you use everything to the story to make it more salacious sounding, more repugnative at times.
And more inappropriate.
But guess what? It's shock value. It's shock
Is that
value.
what this was?
And it's 20 minutes that we're still talking about it. Or at least I am.
I feel like we're those little guys in the locker in Men in Black when you're all hail Jay.
Where's my coffee?
Where's your watch?
They made coffee.
There you go.
This is tea and it's gone.
See that they don't have in the menu.
I don't say things that aren't true on stories I read.
So wait,
no, it's just you. Sometimes you use words with the improper meanings.
did we just have
What-
an episode
what-
of Dark Oddity?
What?
No. Okay, so this episode of Dark Odyssey is the confusion of Joe Rice.
I don't recall using the word the wrong way.
No, please
when
don't.
you
I
dress
don't. We're
something
going back.
up, you're adding things to it.
No.
Yes, that's what that means.
That is what it
what does
means.
it mean to Google it right now? What is
Dress
it?
something up to add to.
That's why we
Like-
all
Yes,
looked at you.
exactly.
You add
And it
clothes
doesn't
to your-
say make up. It's to add to.
Or cover?
Come on, guys. Really? Not my language.
More
Not my
importantly-
language.
More importantly, what does any of this have to do with our topic for today?
Yes.
Well, it was early Roman and pagan rituals. And
About
vaginal
an
mucus.
Egyptian deity?
It's not an Egyptian deity.
This is an Egyptian deity.
It's a Roman pagan deity as well.
That's why I was confused as well.
Get your best mucus here.
I don't know how much I believe
Did
that
the Roman
story anyway.
pagans worship Bess?
I don't know how much I believe that story anyway. I heard of a story where someone that lives in Vatican City in Italy, and this was like maybe a couple of years ago,
Egyptian
found
gods.
found catacombs on their property, and the Vatican allowed them to use it to tourists. They were selling tickets to these catacombs. But because they live in Vatican City, the Vatican takes like 70% of their profit.
Oh.
Because
Oh, that sounds
it's
accurate.
Yes. And that's the story that I heard. I think the rest of that is
Hand it to you.
dressed up.
The rest of that is natural
Okay, so the god Bes, together with his feminine counterpart Beset, is an ancient Egyptian deity worshipped as a protector of households and in particular of mothers, children, and childbirth. Bes later came to be regarded as the defender of everything good and the enemy of all that is bad. Romans would definitely not have been worshipping Bes.
Why not?
Because
they were
Bes
Roman?
wasn't a Roman god or goddess.
Worship of Bes spread as far as north as the area of Syria and as west as the Balearic Islands in the busiest Spain. Romans are all over Spain. So Romans let you worship your own gods as long as you follow their laws. That is part of this. Italy is not far from Spain, too.
Well, they didn't do that to the Irish.
Wait. And later, into the Roman and Archimedean empires.
There we go. Don't choke
You're
nobody
generous.
out.
You gave him 2. I only gave him 1.
Okay. So, if you continue on, Bes itself was still not a Roman god.
It was an Egyptian god.
It was an
worshipped.
Egyptian god.
Listen,
Worshipped out throughout
The family
Roman
that found the
Empire.
catacombs in Vatican City they rented them out. They sold tickets as a tourist attraction, and the Vatican is trying to get in on the act by charging them like 70% of their profits because it's on the property of Vatican City. That's the story.
Well, that's a whole other story. Yeah.
So when are we going to investigate it?
You can't. It's Vatican City. They won't let you.
Yeah, I will figure it out. Hey, Vatican! I'm coming for you.
Whatever the rate is.
70%?
No, that's how much they take. We have to pay the 100%. They take 70% of whatever.
I mean,
they pay.
it's a tourist. It's a tourist. You
gets the
can
other
go
30%?
and
the property owner.
The property owner.
Who owns the Vatican?
Huh?
Very confused. I'm talking about going into the Vatican.
Into the
well,
catacombs.
you can go. You
Oh,
can't
no,
go
he's
to-
talking about
live
going
in
to
the
the
Vatican.
We'll
Vatican.
figure
You
that
can
out.
live in the Vatican.
He's talking about
People
going
live
to
there.
the Vatican. We're talking about the
You
catacombs.
could visit
go
the
into the
Vatican,
catacombs.
but
Me-
People live there.
I want to
But
see the
not the
third
place where I
Vatican
want to go
City.
to in the Vatican.
what?
I said, but not the place I want to go to in the Vatican.
But if you were to interview anybody who lives in Vatican City,
They take 70% of everybody's stuff?
it's high taxed, or it's because it's not considered like their own. Like if they find something like that.
Oh, that.
Like the catacombs, which is.
Which
you
they
know.
probably knew were there and they didn't say nothing. Now that they found it, oh wait.
Well, I don't know.
that's
I
it.
think there's a lot in all over Europe that wasn't even discovered, but the Vatican City has their own. Think about it. They don't have to abide by laws, national laws, Italian laws. They had to make their own.
The richest country in the world. Do what the fuck they want.
Yep. By the blood and sacrifices of everyone
You're
they
talking about the
conquered.
Vatican and you didn't have your Pope hat on the whole time.
I know.
That's why no one believed you.
Yeah.
You need
I have my
the
Pope hat on.
That's your poop hat.
I'm the Pope of Joe Rice.
Yeah, we talked about that as a religion once.
Yep.
Yeah. They
So
were
I
shitty.
think Samhain is a time of gratitude.
Thanks for painting a rainbow on
And connecting with your higher source and being able to rise above other things. Be like the falcon that flies above the storm.
You sound like your brother right now, okay? Do not call him in. I don't care whether he's through the veil or multidimensional. I don't need your brother coming here and talking
Oh my
riddles
God,
to me.
become my brother.
Our brother comes in and he talks just like that.
He
in
does.
riddles.
He did.
No idea what
That's
he's
all he
talking
did.
about.
Be like the falcon that rises. I'm like,
Bubs and sees
like,
the mouse running through. I'm like, yeah. Okay, just get to the point.
You could put music behind that.
Where were we? Samhain? Yes.
Yeah, sour. Yes.
Halloween.
Well, actually, we were at Halloween.
Trick or treating.
We're not at sour
Turnips.
yet.
Turnips.
Turnips. The original jack-o'-lantern was
Yep.
turn-o'-lantern.
Yes, Stingy Jack.
Singy Jack.
All
Made
the
a
way
deal
back
with
to
the
beginning
devil.
Again.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't be us if we didn't digress to
Absolutely.
topics.
It also wouldn't
Right.
be us if we didn't all, fight with Joe.
Of course.
True.
It's the
You love
highlight.
it.
You
You
do
love
love
know
it.
what? Consider
It
yourself
gets you
lucky.
going for a day.
She didn't
know
shoot
what?
you with an arrow.
Yep.
She did.
Not wait.
Not right
no,
now.
wait.
You got shot in the neck before. I don't know how you're still
You
alive.
better put that hat on.
Let's see if I can do it now.
Let's not hit the TV.
I don't have my glasses on, so there's no.
Aim down. Aim down.
Watch
What
the
are
tape.
you gonna take my eyes out?
No, she should hit you in the stomach, not in the eye or in the TV.
It's gonna bounce off of here and hit me right in the
Every
eye.
time I do
He's
it,
gonna
and I
become
get it.
Tim Mark II.
She's a good shot. Then.
Stop shooting arrows at me, please.
Oh,
I like
so
eyesight.
Nicely.
It's bad, but I still like
You
it.
can block it with the Ouija.
Nice.
The power of the Ouija compels you.
At least now we can't hit him in the eye.
No, stop.
No,
But
stop.
if he had the arrow,
Don't
he
you wear
would've
this
shot.
like?
Of course he would have shot.
All right. Just as an added bonus
Jay.
for all of this. Yeah. Just as an added bonus for all of this.
Okay.
We're on Staten Island. Has anyone heard
About
of
the
the
bird?
theory? Heard about the bird? No. Heard about the theory that Staten Island is actually Sleepy Hollow.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
You haven't heard about. Okay, so sit there in the corner. We'll tell you up later.
Because Ichabod Crane is why his grave is here.
Oh please, it's General Ichabod Crane. He died. He
God.
died
So-
in the after the Civil War.
So yes,
But
after
it
the
has-
Civil
it's
War,
not-
there is a general. His name was Ichabod Crane. There is a tombstone
I
here
have
on the
photos
island.
of it, by the way, because I was there. It's right across from my
There's a
house.
tombstone for him here on the island.
And he's buried with his manservant,
The author
an Indian boy.
frequented Staten Island.
Watch.
No,
And
serious.
that was the
guy a
whole
fucking-
concept why people thought that it was Staten Island. And it's mostly just Staten Islanders who
Why?
believed it for a while. And it's just funny.
So Washington Irving wrote this while he was over in England. He had left after
Joe, it's a theory.
He did
from
you say
people
the
on
word
Staten
theory.
Island. It's a theory. I didn't say that Staten Island
Okay, so
was.
I won't speak about Sleepy Hollow then?
I
Okay, I
didn't
won't
say
speak
it
about
was,
Sleepy Hollow.
But it just seems like
Anyway.
you wanted to argue about it because
No.
all you did was interrupt with every fucking thing I said.
You stop talking. I said Washington Irving wrote the story.
Okay, Washington Irving wrote the story.
I don't know. I thought you wanted to talk about the story then.
Go ahead, talk about the story.
Where did he get the story from?
Where is Sleepy Hollow?
Okay, so where he got the
Upstate
story
New York.
from is that there's actually an account with a plaque still involved right now at an old church in the Sleepy Hollow was a longer, bigger place back then. Now it's a little smaller in modern
That
times.
little town that's by Tarrytown?
Yes,
Yeah.
Tarrytown.
So it's still New York, just not Staten Island.
Yeah.
Staten
So
Island. Staten Island.
Staten Island.
there's an account of Washington's men shooting the head off of a soldier riding, and the horse continued.
Damn, that's a
There's
powerful
an actual
gun.
account
Just
of a
that.
Hessian being beheaded as he was riding his horse, and they were doing battle. There's a plaque there today, shows where he's buried, but the church kind of moved, so it's a little murky. There's an account of this. The soldier, the Hessian soldier that got killed, actually had something to do with the Van Pelts. And he did something nice for the family. So they helped bury him. And the Van Pelts are one of the main story families from Sleepy Hollow and, the whole story. So there's a few things that are actual, kind of could be
So it
related to
could be
reality.
that he actually is buried on Staten Island.
No, because okay, so back in that time, Irving took his name, Ichabod. It was like Joe when we were born. They were very popular names of the day. Ichabod was a very popular name at that time period during the Revolution War. And it was just an easy name for him to use.
So that name was just for the story, but
Yeah.
the actual soldier that got his head blown off
the Hessian soldier, we don't know his name.
Right.
We
But
just
he
do,
could. But he.
we just do know that the Van
unnamed
Pelts
soldier
helped
could be
pay for his
buried on
burial.
Staten Island.
Excuse me?
He who is unnamed soldier could.
No.
He no.
No.
So who is buried?
Buried up there. He's buried by the old church in Tarrytown.
In Tarrytown, Sleepy Hollow
And the
area.
Van Pelts helped pay because there's a part of the story that I don't remember right now, but he did something nice. Okay, so people are at war, but they're warring around people's homes and stuff. And something happened where this Hessian soldier just went out of his way to help one of the local families. Something happened, I forget what. When he got killed, they helped pay for his burial. They weren't even sure if it was the same soldier, but they said, let's just help bury this guy.
This I know who this guy is. He doesn't have a head.
Now, Ichabod Crane was just the name of a general from the Civil War that's buried across the street from my house. Literally.
So if you think about it, you got the grave and the Van Pelts from Staten Island. You can see why it's a theory.
Right, exactly.
So it's the same family, Van Pelt? Or
I don't
different
know.
You know
families?
what? Staten Island needs as many theories as it can get.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same Van Pelt.
What other reason
How many Van
would you
Pelts
have to
maybe that was
visit
his
Staten
cousin?
Maybe
Island?
it's
Smith
Ichabod.
back, you know? You never know.
Bro, all the Dutch Van Pelts.
Yeah. So I'm saying that might have
That's
been a
what we're
very
saying,
common name.
but you could see
Yeah,
why
There were
it's a
Van
theory.
Pelts over there and Van Pelts over here.
Yeah.
Maybe they were cousins or
Or Joe
brothers.
Foo's over there and Joe Foo's over here.
There's only one Joe Foo. Stop that shit.
Oh, yo, go on social media. You find a bunch of Joe Foo's, I swear to God.
Wait,
it's not like yours is a made-up name or something.
That's okay. I can go .net.
It's a made-up name from, and they fucked up the character's name, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Joe Boo from Major League.
Yeah, we'd all be calling him Joe Boo right now. I like Joe Foo better.
I like calling him Fufu.
War of 1812.
Oh, War of 1812. Okay. He wrote.
That was his third choice.
Wait. When did he write the story? I thought he wrote the story around the Civil War. The Revolutionary War. Excuse me.
Legend of Sleepy Hollow was
Good
originally
idea.
written in 1820.
It's like the pudding guy.
1820. Okay.
1820. Written
1820.
in 1820.
It was a very good
It was
year.
a good year.
So, but those are speculations. None of that is actual fact. There is a Hessian soldier buried. The story goes he lost his head when a cannon ball took his head off. You know, it's all put in after the fact. This is where Washington Irving may have got these ideas from. None of it's actual concrete proof, but he did spend time in the area. And so it's just people speculating. Can't say any of it's real, but...
No, exactly. But that's why I said
Yeah.
that there's a theory.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh, yeah.
theory that Staten Island is the actual Sleepy Hollow, and it's because people, most of the time, are full of themselves.
Yes. I've been to that grave. I've taken pictures of it, by the way.
You're going to give to me to put in here?
No, because he doesn't know where those pictures are.
Oh, no, those pictures are
lost.
gone. Yeah.
With the ghost figures that he
Yeah,
had from
but
previous
you can Google it.
investigations.
There's pictures all over the Google.
Go on to Google.
Use the Google.
Use the Google.
Don't just walk by. Say something creepy.
Okay? Okay. Don't make me push the button.
Don't make me put my mask back on.
Don't make me tap the button. The stories are, you know, he may have gotten the idea from here. The window dressing is that the guy might have had his window.
His
window
I just
dressing.
lit- I'm like, come on.
Window dressing.
Hold on, can we
All
go
right.
into pumpkin carving instead of
Wait a
window
minute.
dressing?
Wait a minute.
Pumpkin.
You know, I don't understand why I'm not allowed to shoot him.
So you'll lose an eye.
Who told me not to shoot him?
I told you to block
You
it.
poke your eye out, kid.
So really,
No, that's
You're not
Christmas
a
story,
kid.
and we're not going there.
I'm talking about
why a
myself.
pumpkin?
Why a pumpkin?
Yeah.
Because pumpkins were easier to get here in the United States compared to turnips.
Turnips,
Yes.
correct.
And they were bigger? Why did they carve them?
Well, they carved them. What they did was they did the scary faces to help scare away evil spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing as putting on the dress
Right.
up
Correct.
for yourself.
Correct.
Same
Correct.
theory.
They still use
Ward off
turnips
the
in some parts of
the spirits.
Ireland today. They still use turnips.
They
Yeah.
carved them too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the original jack-o'-lantern.
Right.
It was a turnip.
Weren't you there for Stingy Jack?
I was, yes.
Joe's
It was the
asleep.
mask.
I need to learn all over again.
Yes, you do.
You gotta put the mask on if you're gonna talk that way. All right.
So what did we learn about the origins of Halloween?
And Joe Rice is always wrong.
But I'm not! Why did everybody say that?
Not everybody said it.
Rewind the tape. Rewind the tape. Go back. Let's go back. Way back.
We are dating. We're all dating ourselves. There is no such thing as tape anymore. Jump
We
back
learned
on
that
the
there's
SD
a
card.
deeper meaning behind the dressing up and all of that.
The dressing up of people and the dressing up of stories.
Give me the box.
And it always goes back to the damn.
I didn't see you play with your dolls, sir. I didn't see you play with your dolls.
Give me the box, toy maker.
Hitman! All right. Is there anything else to come out in this episode?
Oh, what did we learn? Did we go over that?
We did. You were sleeping.
Yes.
Cool. Cool.
Go back to bed.
Never forget window dressing, turnips, Nosferatu, and the origins of Halloween. Thank you for joining us. So if I throw it back, I'm wrong?
Yes. You're so. You hit a woman.
Oh!
At least it
Sorry.
wasn't with the bow.
Right? At least I didn't use the bow. She's trying to take my eyes out here.
I wasn't aiming for eyes.
Give me April! What'd you do to me?
It's a little late. You want to try it again? Hold on. I'll throw the arrow at you again. Ready? Well, get the eyeballs ready. If you can do it right.
Then I can't see.
I see you.
Just when we thought you weren't creepy enough.
All right, somebody in the episode.
That is it for Halloween 2023. We are Dark Odyssey. Thank you for joining us. Check us out on the web. Go and look at our videos, like and subscribe. And if not, I'm going to eat you.
He's serious. He's gonna fucking eat you.
Good night.
Joe,
Double
what
check.
did you put the AC at?
2 notches down, like I did last time.
So it went from 72 to 71?
No, we're down to 69.
Bro, it should be at 64.
No, we never
You have
had
too
that.
much fucking clothes on. It's actually a perfect temperature
And
here,
too much
Joe.
testosterone.
You want me to hit you in your dick
It's
a couple of
flowing.
times? Make you feel a little bit better?
No,
Testosterone
I'm
is
just
flowing.
You want to
way
go drop
too
it
hot.
one more
Yeah.
notch?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Comrade Rice here to let you
Where's
know
my hat?
about the new things that are happening today.
I'm so excited.
Nude?
How's my hat? Everybody,
Listen, there's also a multiverse where you're not an asshole.
True. Wow. I'm not. Listen, I'm not always an asshole. Oh, fuck you. Yes, I am. Anyway,